Ball hit well to left center field. How far will it go? To the wall and touch them all. Walk-off winner for Rosales. Last night, Adam Rosales with a 10th inning theatrics, the fourth Padre walk-off homer of the season. 2-1 victory over the Reds. Today, the rubber game of this weekend series as we welcome you to Military Sunday, presented by USAA. And today, the Padres salute the United States Marine Corps. Always special on Sunday as we welcome you aboard. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, a happy Sunday to you all. And fans are still digesting the news yesterday that Matt Kemp traded to Atlanta.
Yeah, a lot going on in the front office for A.J. Preller and all of his scouts. So what does this tell every Padre fan out there? Well, they're restocking the minor leagues, and also they're getting a little bit more financial flexibility. Got some contracts off the books, some veteran players moving on their ways. Matt Kemp saying his final goodbyes to his teammates. And hey, you know, it's a situation where Matt Kemp putting up offensively, but the whole picture, the Padres being out of the playoff race, it's time for the younger guys to come take shape in a Padre uniform, and here are the players that were dealt away this year.
Look at that. A.J. Preller has been busy in the swap shop of baseball. 7 of the 25 on the opening day roster have been traded away.
And when you're a Padre in the minor leagues, when you're on the 40-man roster, what does this do? Hey, these guys got social media. They're on their computers each and every day. There's a lot of opportunity for kids in the minor leagues for the Padres, and here's one today.
Well, we were amazed by the strength of Jabari Blash in spring training. He had a brief couple of weeks with a club at the start of the season. He's back from El Paso.
And the one thing about Jabari Blash, Dick, is that he had some big league time up here this year. He was sent down, worked out a deal with the Mariners to keep him, and he's getting another taste of the big leagues, which he has had earlier in the year, so it shouldn't be a shock for him.
Well, it's a total reorder of the pitching rotation for the Padres with all the trades. Today, it'll be Paul Clemens making his second start as a Padre.
Opportunity knocks once again for this right-hander. Still plenty of time this season to where he gets 6 or 7 starts and hone his skills. You see this season with the Padres 8 2/3. He's 28 years old, making his second start as a Padre. Curveballs early is a big key for Paul Clemens. And quite frankly, he's just got to trust his stuff, go after these Cincinnati Redlegs, and have a good outing to win this series for the Padres.
And our military take the field, brought to you by USAA. Today we welcome 9 drill instructors of Hotel Company, 2nd Battalion Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego. And of course, up in the upper right field corner, 350 Marines and their drill instructors from that Hotel Company. Let's check the Cincinnati Reds starting lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Same as yesterday, last night, except down at the bottom of the order. You got Hamilton leading off, then Cozart, Votto, and Duvall. No Jay Bruce in there. He was originally in the lineup a couple hours ago, but it's been scratched, and that, of course, creates rumors that he might be traded. Brandon Phillips moves up to the 5th spot with Suarez hitting 6th. Jose Peraza, a fleet-footed outfielder, goes in the 7th spot, plays left field. Tucker Barnhart behind the plate, and Homer Bailey making his 2016 debut after recovering from Tommy John surgery.
And on the hill, Paul Clemens, his scouting report brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. The 28-year-old making his second start as the Padres. And he's got a fastball, curveball, changeup, a command on the corners. It's very, very key. He's been a victim of the long ball, home runs. He's got to keep the ball in the yard today against these Redlegs.
Yeah, that's the one negative. In nearly 19 innings of pitching, he has allowed 7 home runs. The Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers, and we do need to reintroduce some of these fellas. Amarista in left field, Jankowski in center, and there's Blash in right field, replacing Matt Kemp. On the infield, Rosales and Rondon. The shortstop made his major league debut start last night, got his first big league hit. Schimpf at second and Myers at first base. And Christian Bethancourt behind the plate to handle the offerings of the 28-year-old right-hander Paul Clemens. Another classic Chamber of Commerce Sunday, 75 degrees in our fine city, and we're set to go. Padres looking for a win to take the rubber game of this series. The Reds are trying to make it 5 straight series wins. They have defeated Milwaukee, Atlanta, Arizona, and San Francisco, all in 2 wins to 1 series. And they're looking for a continuation of that as we're set to go. Clemens is native of Virginia, went to college, a 2-year school in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Lewisburg College, the Fighting Hurricanes. Let's see if he can blow down these hitters today. As Hamilton steps in, hitting safely in 11 of 12 games, 327 average. First pitch of the game is high and inside, ball one. Hamilton 35 stolen bases, couple off the National League lead. Try to keep them right there at home plate or in the dugout. Squares and takes a high strike. Plate umpire Ramon De Jesus calling the balls and strikes on this afternoon, with Estabrook, DeMuth, and Gibson on the bases. Another high strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, you know what? Contrary to what we teach as far as pitching is concerned, keeping the ball down, if I'm pitching to Hamilton, I'm going up in the zone. I want him to hit the ball in the air. He's not a threat to hit a home run. He's got 3 home runs on the year, but you want him to put it in the air.
Breaking ball too high, and it's 2 and 2. Yeah, that's one way to take away the wheels. Don't pitch down there.
There's no bad hops in the air last time I checked.
There you go. We've got our researchers working on it just to confirm that. High and a full count. Well, the last thing you want to do is walk that leadoff man, much less Hamilton, as you're likely to see him out on second base within a blink of an eye. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a good start for Paul Clemens.
He just challenged him with a fastball. Four-seamer. He missed with location, but ties up Hamilton. He wanted it away. That was at 91. Let's keep an eye on the velocity today of Paul Clemens.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Zach Cozart. He's in the midst of an 11-game hitting streak, raising his average up to 267. There have been some thoughts about Cozart, whether or not he's on the trading block. So far, still in that Reds uniform. Ground ball foul past the third base dugout. Last day of July. August and September to go as we're 2/3 through the season.
Can you believe it?
It's gone quickly. Line drive by Rondon and into left field, and Cozart continues his hot hitting. 12 consecutive games with a base hit. Brings up Joey Votto.
The ball's crushed. Trying to locate down and away with the four-seamer, and you know what? Even though that's a base hit, nice effort by Rondon at shortstop, laying out for his pitcher. And you know, even though it's a line drive, one hopper past your shortstop, as a pitcher, you really have to appreciate that.
Cozart now 4 for 10 in the series. Brings up Joey Votto. He's on a hitting streak as well. 14 straight games. Ball gets away from Bethancourt, not far enough for an advance by Cozart. Votto with that 284 average, the best for the Cincinnati Ball Club. Brian Price, 54-year-old skipper from Mill Valley, California, Cal Berkeley pitcher. High, 1-1. During the 14-game hitting streak, batting at a lusty 489. 4 home runs. He's got 210 career home runs.
Oh yeah, he'll spin on one once in a while. He'll turn on it. Good command of the strike zone, good back control. We've talked about that quite a bit. Always a tough out.
Young and old here, enjoying the sunshine and a Major League Baseball game at beautiful Petco Park.
He's the man. And the man, you got to protect him from the sun.
High fly ball right field. Blash easing back and makes the catch for the second out. Well, a look at the keys to the game today, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Homer off Bailey. Get it, Professor?
I do.
Yeah, I like the home runs. Adam Rosales with the walk-off last night in extra innings, and opportunity knocks for Clemens. It's a great opportunity for the right-hander, and that seems like you go throughout the lineup for these Padres. Opportunity is a knocking for everybody.
And that door is ajar. Here's Duvall, 25 home runs, tied with Jay Bruce for the club lead. Second start for Clemens. Pitched against St. Louis on the last road trip. 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, only 4 hits. That's a strike. Trading deadline about this time tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Runner goes, taken. Bethancourt's throw is not in time.
You know, Dick, that was an impressive throw. Even though it's safe at second base, this ball is in the dirt. As you take a look at the jump, this ball's in the dirt, and Christian throws from his knees, and yet short hops. Watch him get rid of this one. In the dirt, Pickett.
Only the 3rd steal of the year for Cozart.
And it was a breaking ball, and look at it. Wow, that's impressive.
So a man in scoring position for the Reds, and 2 outs, 1-1 to Duvall. Just checking the scoreboard. 11-0 Detroit wins as Jay Bruce there in the third base dugout, not in the starting lineup. He was originally when we arrived at Petco, and then scratched, and of course that raises all the anticipation. Is it because there's a trade in the works? Highly valued talent is Bruce, and the Reds have made it very clear they're going to have to get a bundle of talent back if he's to be traded. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, with social media these days, nothing's a secret, and quite frankly, everybody's on the block, right? If you're wearing a big league uniform, guess what? There's probably teams calling about you, and if it's going to make the other team better, the trade's going to happen.
You know, one negative, very personal, as we talked with Andy Green in that regard, is Duvall walks. So first and second with 2 outs, and Brandon Phillips, the batter. That I asked Andy, did you have a chance to talk much with Matt Kemp? What did you say? And he said, you know, the problem with the modern media is that there are no secrets, and rumors are floating around, and you don't really have time to bring a player into your office and say, here's the deal. I want to, thank you for what you've done for us. I want to wish you well, and really have a proper farewell to a player. He said they already know. I mean, you only can say, hey, thanks for what you've given me, and that's about what Kemp said to Green. Cold hard facts are out there for all to consume. Phillips had his 16-game hitting streak snapped last night as the Padres were able to hand him the collar. 0 for 4 on 4 ground outs. Veteran hitter with 37 runs batted in this year. His numbers are down. 2 on 2 out, top of the first. Good swing. Fouls it straight back.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the pitches early on for Paul Clemens been up in the zone, and he's kind of dropping the elbow a little bit. Got to make that adjustment and working down. Wreak havoc being up in the zone, especially with a straight fastball.
Red start today's play. 15 games, 21 games rather, 21 behind the Cubs in the Central Division. They've had a tough time on the road. Runner goes from second and fouled away. Cozart, who stole second off pitcher Clemens, had a huge jump there, but Phillips fouls it off. Yeah, on the road, the Reds have lost 2 for every game they've won. They're 17 and 34. No one in the major leagues has done poorer than Knights Club away from Cincinnati. Price's Club. Price's Club. Isn't that Costco now?
It most certainly is.
Where'd that come from? Let's go shopping.
It's like an amusement park there. I love that place.
High with a breaking ball. Oh, they send me by jet cab over there to Costco. Oh, I go every aisle. I don't miss an aisle.
You and me both.
If I don't go up there a few triple figures in that
Hey,
total, they come out to the car and get Mr. Enberg. You made a mistake. Come on back. You're a little light on your purchase today.
I go for lunch. The free samples.
2 and 2 foul back. Oh, I hate that. Well, I don't hate. That's the one part because I like to get my cart going because I'm on all the aisles. I like to go quickly through the aisles. And then you have those stops where people like you stand in the middle of the aisle and they're munching on the free stuff and I can't get through there and they go beep, 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 yum.
I'll hit the juice bar, then I'll hit the,
Crackers and cheese.
the crab cakes.
Yeah. Lobster. 2 and 2 to Phillips.
Bounce a breaking ball here.
Just missed, blowing away, and the count is full. That'll give the runners a head start.
I look at the pitch sequence here to Phillips, and all the pitches have been up in the zone, except for that last pitch, trying to go down and away.
Cozart from second, Duvall from first here on the 3-2. And a high fly ball hit well to right field, but Blash has a beat on it and tucks it away for the final out. The Reds leave 2 in the first. The Padres will start with Travis Jankowski. Left field. A double play. Walk-off winner for Rosales. Wow, who is that guy screaming like that? I got to get some more composure. That was an exciting game last night, and that double play authored by Rondon with that skidding diving stop and turning it into a double play was one of the highlights of the night and the week. And of course, the walk-off win with a home run from Adam Rosales, a guy who wasn't in the starting lineup. You trade Kemp, somebody has to go over and play third because there's a line drive into left field, and Jankowski starts the Padres with a solid single to left. As we check the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota, Jankowski has announced his presence, followed by Alexi Amarista. Will Myers hits third. Ryan Schimpf, who would have thought that? Ryan Schimpf starts in the minor leagues and now is the cleanup hitter for the Padres. Jabari Blash inserted in the 5 spot, then Bethancourt hitting 6th in front of Jose Rondon. Adam Rosales in the 8th hole, and then the pitcher Clemens. Alexi was the hitting star last night until Rosales hit that walk-off home run. He had 3 of the Padres' 5 hits going into extra innings, and his single in the 8th inning, check that, the 6th inning, tied up the game at 1. Yes, the operative word is opportunity for the Padres and all the youngsters down on the farm, and you know they're watching it closely. They see all the trades, all the moves being made by the Padres at the big league level. Homer Bailey, he's 30 now, authored back-to-back season no-hitters. It's a big time for him to be able to finally toe the slab. Last pitched on April 23rd a year ago against Milwaukee, and then the Tommy John surgery. 2-1.
And a scouting report for the right-hander. This kid signed through 2020. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. He'll throw the changeup to lefties and sometimes up in the zone with the fastball. Kind of a straight fastball as well. So if these Padre hitters are fastball hitters, it works right into their swing path.
He misses wide. 3-1. He has enjoyed pitching against the Padres in the past. David Bailey, Homer, of course, his nickname, his great grandfather was Homer. He's 7-1 against the Padres lifetime and 3-0 here at Petco. That's a strike and a full count to Amarista. Well, if you have no hit, no run stuff, then you've got to be pretty special. What is it about Bailey?
He hits his spots when he's on his game, and a little bit of luck comes his way too for every pitcher that throws a no hitter, no doubt about that. But he really doesn't have that one wow pitch. He'll touch around 93-ish. That curveball. And for his changeup, it's kind of like a split grip. Have to keep an eye on that as well.
Jankowski goes, and the ground ball up the middle, and they don't get the out there, but they do get Amarista at first. So Jankowski, running on the pitch, was able to beat the throw or the move by shortstop Cozart to second and stay out of the double play and move himself into scoring position.
I love the aggressive slide by Travis Jankowski on the run. And when you look at the shortstop Cozart, he just had to pause a little bit, letting that ball get to him before committing to second base. Clearly safe. Travis at second base and a man in scoring position.
Will Myers, now the club leader with Kemp going in home runs with 20 and runs batted in 63. Chance to pick up Jankowski here in the first inning. He goes to third. The throw to third. Not in time. Jankowski catching the Reds off guard. That's his 18th stolen base of the year.
Perfect timing. You got the front door closed with the right-handed hitter diving towards the outfield part of the bag there. Jankowski the bag. The tag. Nice.
Latching onto the front edge of that base so that he doesn't come off it for the tag on Suarez. So Myers now can give the Padres the lead on a fly ball. Infield back. That'll do the job too up the middle, and there it is. Ground ball to Cozart. He has to go to first, and the Padres lead 1-0. Jankowski steals a run. That big steal of third base gives the Padres the opportunity, and Myers knocks in number 64.
Tell you what, we mention it all the time. Speed on the base pass. You bring it every day to the ball yard. And Travis Jankowski taking the ball the other way, getting aboard, and then utilizing that speed.
So the Padres, when they score first, have had good success, 30-16, and they take the early lead on this Sunday. Ryan Schimpf hitting cleanup. Big July, 9 home runs. Most in July of any National Leaguer. 2-0. 23 hits since he's been called up from El Paso. 23 hits, 17 extra base hits, only 6 singles. Good cut there. The Reds complete the 3-game series on this beautiful Sunday. Then the Brewers come to town tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday noon. Reds go home for a brief series against St. Louis. And then right back on the road again to Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Milwaukee. Moment here on that foul ball to check on the defense for Cincinnati. Peraza in left, Hamilton in center. Duval moves from left to right field with Bruce not in the lineup. Suarez and Cozart on the left side. Phillips and Votto on the right side, and Barnhart behind the plate. There's a looper, and there's a rare single. A little wedge shot to left field. Schimpf takes a big turn and will hold. Well, the shift was on and able to just float one onto the grass in left field.
That's a winner, Professor. A little soft serve the opposite way. It looks like Ryan Schimpf was fooled on that. It looked like maybe an off-speed changeup type of pitch out of the hand of Bailey and off the end of the bat.
Well, seeing the defensive alignment there, he did beat the shift in normal shortstop alignment.
Yep.
Shortstop would have been able to get to that ball. So Schimpf aboard with 2 outs for Jabari Blash. Welcome back to the big time. 27-year-old from the Virgin Islands. Up the middle, and he comes back to the big leagues with a base hit. Third hit off Bailey here in the first inning.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Travis Jankowski swung at the first pitch, base knocked. Jabari Blash not wasting any time. First pitch swinging. Ground ball to center fielder.
Long been your favorite play.
I love it.
Here's Christian Bethancourt. 5 home runs on the season. Breaking ball for a strike.
That's a little slider right there from Homer Bailey.
Opportunity for the Padres to put up a crooked number here in the first inning. Oh, 0-2 way inside, tied him up.
There's that changeup.
Schimpf at second, Blash at first. Just missed it. Very high and medium deep in center. Took forever to come down, and that's the final out. The Padres do get a run, however, as Jankowski with a single moved to second on a ground out, stole third, and came home on Myers' ground ball to short. It's 1-0 Padres.
His swing was never set up to play off the bench very well. Kind of who he is, his timing mechanisms, his long levers. those aren't the swings that play well off the bench, and that's what we asked him to do, and there just wasn't an opportunity at that time of the year to get him out there very consistently, and I think we always said we'd love to give him a long look here and see what he does if he's given consistent playing time, and that time's now, and we'll see what he does with it.
Well, that was manager Andy Green on the return of Jabari Blash. Jabari told me he was in Las Vegas when he found out he was being pulled from the starting lineup, and he was not keeping up with the trade rumors. He was confused why he was being pulled, so he went to his manager to tell him he felt fine and that he could play, and that's when they told him he was getting another opportunity. Guys?
That's always good news, and Blash in right field couldn't get to that little number hit by Suarez. Just a soft little single through the shift. Nobody there, and the Reds have the leadoff man on here in the second. Brings up left fielder Jose Peraza. We were in Cincinnati. There was a lot of chatter about Peraza getting more playing time. They'd like to see him in the lineup. He brings a lot of speed. Only 84 at bats this year, hitting .250.
Yeah, I remember watching him going down the first base line. My goodness, eye popping, jaw dropping.
And he has power too, and he has just hit one long into the Western Metal Supply Company second deck. And the Reds on one swing make it a 2-1 game. Oh, that was a no-doubter. Peraza clubbing his first home run of the season.
Boy, he turns on this fastball big time. And once again, Clemens misses with location. He wanted it away. But look at the strength. Getting that baseball quickly. A minor leaguer. Majority of the time a .302 hitter. He's got some pop in that bat. That was impressive.
That's his first major league home run. Let's see, he was up with the Dodgers briefly last year, but did not homer. So that is his first big league home run. Boy, it was definitely all of that. A big league blast. I think that almost went through the window in that second deck of the Western Metal Supply Company building. It wasn't just into the first couple of rows, it's to the back wall. Well, the home run ball has bugged Clemens this year. High fly ball off the bat of Tucker Barnhart, and Myers, sun glaring off those glasses, makes the catch. 424 feet they measure Peraza's first big league homer. Brings up the pitcher, Homer Bailey. So Clemens has now pitched exactly 20 innings and has given up 8 home runs.
And you know, I'll reiterate, a lot of the pitch has been up in the zone. In that last pitch he threw, yeah, it was a nasty pitch right on the corner, but he did not get it because of his inconsistency, I think, early on, trying to pelt that bottom part of the zone. This is Jay Bruce. Have a great summer. I'll see you when I get traded to the Dodgers.
Is that where you think he might go?
I don't know. How do you spell Eugenio again? Is it E-U-G? Yeah. Okay.
Just call me Gene. 3-1 to Bailey. Up the middle, not hit hard. Good direction. Can't throw him out. Or can you? Good try by Rondon, but once Clemens was unable to field that slow ground ball, it made it mighty tough for any infielder to get the out.
Tell you what, that was closer than I thought. And with Bailey running the pitcher, Rondon's thinking, hey, why not give this a shot? It shows you the range of Rondon. I didn't think he was going to catch it that cleanly. And then the short hop, in between hop.
Yeah, it was fairly close.
Yeah. Yeah, get that fingernail out of the way there, Paul. You don't want to break a nail or break a finger. Nice range by Rondon.
So, top of the order, Billy Hamilton. Bailey at first with 1 out. Hamilton struck out swinging to open the ball game. Military Sunday. Padres salute the U.S. Marine Corps. Marine Corps recruits here. Nice flyover. And next Sunday it'll be the United States Navy, honored by the Padres as they continue to lead the major leagues in a very supportive way. The military, others have followed suit, and that's a good thing. Outside. It was just about this time, or this date. In fact, it was on July 30th back in 1942 during World War II that President Roosevelt signed a bill creating the Women Accepted for Voluntary Emergency Service, the WAVES.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
That's what the WAVES, Women Accepted for Voluntary Emergency Service, the WAVES. Women were a big part of a war battle. There's the WACs, Women Army Corps, and
in fact, Cheap Trick said it best when Mommy served for the WACs in the Philippines. They said it best.
Did they?
And I love it. Men and women contributing to the freedom of our country.
We even had Air Corps women that were flying an all-female crew. Blash has his third putout in the first 2 innings. Time now for the San Diego fans of the game and the Marines who took the field before the game today. And it's a special moment as each starting player for the Padres comes out and thanks the man at his position for their service. Man or woman.
I tell you what, if you ever meet a Marine, you better be ready for a firm handshake.
You could see that one.
Yeah.
Zach Cozart singled and stole a base his first time. Ground ball to third, deep at third. Rosales goes to second, the short way for the out on Bailey, and that's it for the Reds. But a 2-run homer for Peraza. They take the lead. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, it'll be the lower third of the Padre order, starting with Jose Rondon, the shortstop, who last night made a dandy play.
Well, we know he can go to his left. We saw it this afternoon, but how about last night? Watch him. Good ball. Good beat off the bat there. The full extension. Now the flip, right? Firm flip to Ryan Schimpf. The target right at the belt buckle, and Ryan Schimpf, now with the new slide rule we were talking about last night, Mark Sweeney mentioned, hey, second baseman can hang in there. They turn it. A successful double play. Nicely done, gentlemen.
Yeah, Tucker Barnhart, the catcher, thought he had a base hit to center field. Instead, he went back to the dugout, committing 2 outs. Rondon also able to collect his first major league hit last night. Back in the 5th inning, a single to center field. Sharply hit, but right to Cozart. And 1 away. Time for our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Well, it was last night, and as we watch this, Jumbo Diaz wants it down and away, the green, right? But red means no. Why? Because Adam Rosales is all over that fastball. He even said after the game he was hunting the fastball. And did you see Jumbo Diaz's reaction? As soon as that ball was hit, he put his head down. Adam Rosales does his sprint around the bases. He gets mauled. Everybody goes home happy.
Yeah, he certainly belies the home run trot, doesn't he? That's a gallop. Home run number 8 on the season to win it for the Padres, 2-1 in extra innings. Takes away 1-1. He had third baseman Suarez very deep at third. Suarez looking into his dugout now, saying, you want me to come up a little bit? And indeed, he's about 3 steps closer to home now. Chopped toward short, cut off by Suarez. 2 away.
Okay, on this replay, just focus on Jumbo Diaz, the pitcher. Watch his reaction when this ball's hit.
Didn't even want to look.
Then he starts heading towards the dugout, and yeah, that's called a walk-off. That's a Jumbo walk-off. If Ryan Schimpf hit a home run off Jumbo Diaz, it'd be a Jumbo Schimpf.
There it is, yeah. Not a bad appetizer. Paul Clemens 0 for 6 with the bat. A little low, ball 1. Well, another new Padre tomorrow night on the mound. Jared Cozart, acquired from Miami, against Jimmy Nelson of the Brewers. Brewers have their 3 best ready for the Padres. Nelson is 6-9, Zach Davies 8-4, and Junior Guerrera 7-2. Bringing in their best arms for the 3-game series.
Good young arms with the Brew Crew.
At the knees, 2-1. Mets beat Colorado today. That snaps Colorado's 5-game winning streak. The Tigers won big today, 11-0, and so they won 6 in a row. And they're creeping up. Central Division of the American League. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the first strikeout for Bailey. He retires the side in order, and we go to the 3rd inning with the Reds in front, 2-1.
Joined by Major General Mark Wise. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Michelle.
You've come into a new job. Can you explain what it is and what it entails?
I'm the new commanding general of the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. We've got about 17,000 Marines and sailors, and our job is to get out there and basically protect America's interests, supply forces, and go fight those wars or contingencies when we have to.
You had the duty of throwing out the ceremonial first pitch today. What is your evaluation of your performance?
Well, I don't think there's any danger of me actually switching careers to be a major league pitcher, but it was all kinds of fun. The support out there for all the local community is absolutely amazing.
What are your thoughts on what the Padres do for the military on Sundays?
It really is hard. It touches your heart because the fact is they spend so much time and effort trying to support all of our Marines and sailors out there, and our Marines up there in the bleachers. It is an incredible opportunity for them, and they show it every single year consistently. They're fantastic, a fantastic organization.
Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate your service.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And thanks to the General and all the Marines here that we salute today, and of course are serving around the world. Joey Votto leading off the top of the 3rd. There are the 350 recruits. Always special to have them up in the right field corner. Votto, Duvall, and Phillips. Top of the 3rd with the Reds in front, 2-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He may have gotten a call right there, but once again, a lot of pitches up from Paul Clemens. Mentioned it when we introduced Paul Clemens in our open. You got to trust his stuff. Throw the curveball with some aggression.
That's his best pitch, everyone seems to say. He's got a really good one.
He really does.
There it is. And it gets Votto looking for the first strikeout. No, that's number 2 for him.
Well, there it is, Professor. You ask and you shall receive. There it is, the 12-6. Hey, it's up in the zone a little bit, but it freezes Joey Votto. Good tight rotation on that pitch.
So 1 away here in the 3rd to Duvall. He walked the first time. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Got a call. But again, he doesn't want to leave that curveball up there.
And that one, he kind of worked around a little bit too. Flattened it out.
25 homers on the season for Duvall, acquired from San Francisco. Breaking ball doesn't. Arizona an early lead against the Dodgers up north, 1-0 in the 4th. The Giants have a 1-0 lead against the Nationals in the 4th. Baltimore beats Toronto, so they trade places again. Toronto would move it into first place with a win last night. The Orioles win today. Now they're a half game up on the Blue Jays. Battle of the Birds. The Orioles and the Blue Jays. I just feel that the Orioles are a nicer bird. Swing and a miss and a couple of strikeouts, and I think Paul Clemens heard you about that curveball. He's gone to it very successfully.
And he made a big time adjustment because this one is the one he wants to throw all day long. The release point just a little bit more out there in front, outside corner, ends up right at the knees. Beautiful.
2 away to Brandon Phillips. Fly to right field his first time. Swing. It sounded like he might have got a little piece of it. Foul tip. Nub to first. A lot of English on that one, and Myers able to corral it for the 3rd out. 1, 2, 3 go. The visitors in the top of the 3rd. Miami, look at that, without the beard. Andrew Kastner gets his first start as a Miami Marlin and gives up only 4 hits, did allow this home run. But other than that, a fine outing for Kastner as a Marlin. He doesn't get the win. Miami went on to a 5-4 victory as the bullpen allowed a couple of runs to tie the game. So Kastner doesn't get the win, but gave a solid quality performance as he begins his career in South Florida.
Dick, he looks totally different.
He does.
He's unrecognizable.
Jankowski singled and scored the Padre run in the first inning. Chops one to first. Votto with the flip. They better hurry. And Jankowski right up the heels of Bailey is out 3-1. Since their trade from the Padres, Shields has started 10 times with the White Sox, 3-5 and a high ERA. Drew Pomeranz has had trouble with the Red Sox, 0-2 and a high ERA. And Fernando Rodney in 13 games in relief with Miami, his ERA 4.15. So with all good wishes to the former Padres, they have not delivered as yet for their new teams.
Yes, we wish them all well, obviously, but there's no guarantees in this game, just like anything else. Hey, it's a crapshoot. You acquire certain players, you hope to pay the dividends. And you know, quite frankly, getting traded in the middle of the season, it's a tough gig for some guys.
Amarista grounded to short his first time. You were traded a couple of times. Were they always during the season?
Middle of the season, July. There's something about the month of July. I just can't wait to get through today.
Yeah, the trade deadline is at 1 o'clock tomorrow, our time, West Coast time. I don't think there's any movement yet. I haven't heard any rumors about you going.
I hope not. It's 1 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, right? 4 o'clock Eastern tomorrow.
Bemidji up in the Minnesota League, though, has been scouting you. They have a scout here today, in fact, watching our telecast.
The Duluth Superior Dukes?
Oh, no, Bemidji.
Oh, Bemidji.
Yeah, the Iron Ore, the Iron Ore Range.
What's their nickname?
The Bemidji Alloys.
The Alloys.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and that'll be good because you'll be near Duluth, and that's the headquarters of our Pick the Stick. So you'll be able to, you know, rub shoulders there, maybe get a few extra points.
Extra points. I think Sweeney's going to run away with it.
High fly ball to left field. Easy chance out there for Peraza. 2 away.
Follow Padres Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Myers steps up. Bailey in cruise control now, has retired 6 in a row. Peraza, he's ready to go to the dugout. I thought that, that's only 2 away.
Hey, 3 outs in this league. And of course, some chuckles from his teammates.
But he's going to bat second in the top of the 4th. He's eager to get back in there, get himself ready after hitting that 2-run homer the last time. Breaking ball for a strike. Well, Myers had 19 homers at the break and then competed in the home run derby. Hit a home run the first game back, but nothing since. Sharply hit. 2 hops to Suarez. And another 1-2-3 innings, 7 in a row. Retired by Bailey. It's still 2-1 Reds.
where we're going, what we're trying to do. I think, looking to create some opportunity for some guys that, have already gotten called up, and some guys that are still down in AAA, they're going to get more opportunity. We just felt like, where we're at as a club and organization, that, we had, I think it was a move for us to create opportunity for some of our guys, and also, gain some financial flexibility here going forward. And, that's ultimately what we ended up doing the deal for.
And to summarize in a couple of words, opportunity and financial responsibility. And opportunity lands on the shoulders of Jabari Blash in right field, Matt Kemp's spot. And Mike Sweeney joins us, always a great pinch hitter.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Gets his roll on his toes with new information.
Financial flexibility. I wish I had that.
Yeah, you and me both.
Listen, you own Alpine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do.
You think?
Yeah, it's beautiful country in Arizona over there.
You can see Arizona from Alpine.
Oh, yes, you can. And did you know he was a dog lover, Dick?
Love canines. Yeah. Big fan.
Here's Suarez, looped a single to right field, and then came in on there's a check swing roller right back to the mound to Clemens.
What in the
Better
Willie Mays?
check your fingernails on that one.
The Willie Mays Hayes is going on that one. That's right out of Major League.
One out to Jose Peraza. Well, the Yankees sent Andrew Miller to the Cleveland Indians. A lot of folks think that the Indians might be the American League representative in the World Series. They're getting a fine left-hander, and they give up 4 youngsters. I think those are the same 4 that Milwaukee was supposed to get in the trade to get Jonathan Lucroy to Cleveland, and Lucroy negated the deal, didn't want to go play for Cleveland.
Well, you got to love that addition, Andrew Miller. I think a lot of people are surprised the Yankees even let him go, but that big haul that they got, and you see the standings in the AL Central, Cleveland wants to separate themselves.
Now, the pecking order, do you think Betances now closes for the Yankees?
Yes.
No more no runs DMC, right?
No.
It's all broken up, except for Betances.
The Yankees had to get younger. I think a lot of people were talking about that, but you wonder, even with Chapman being a free agent, if they will try to sign him back and put him with Betances. But losing Miller and gaining all of those prospects back, obviously they are in that youth movement as well, which is very strange coming from the Yankees.
Peraza, who homered into the second tier of the Western Metal Supply Company building, his first major league home run last time up. 2-1 the count. What do you think about the fact that Jay Bruce was scratched from the lineup today?
Well, you're in that period too, and Mark knows this, that if you're talking to multiple teams, you understand it's probably going to happen because they're not going to sign Jay Bruce back. So why take that chance of injury and a trade not happening? So that's probably the perspective of the Reds organization.
We might see some hugs in that dugout as well, right? During the game.
I love hugs.
Well, Bruce has even indicated he's heard so many rumors about being traded not only this year but last year as well, that hey, let it happen.
Yeah, it's got to
ready.
happen. That's very difficult mentally, and I've never been at that level. So understanding that when you have your name thrown out there in a trade constantly, it's very difficult to take.
Yeah, Clemens gets some resolve here by striking out Peraza after giving up the 2-home run to Peraza the last time. 2 away to Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart popped to first his initial at bat.
Looks like Clemens has got that feel for the curveball. Last inning he threw a couple of really nasty ones.
What is it with Paul? Is it getting on top of that breaking ball? Because it looks like at times, and hitters can pick this up, that he lowers that arm angle just a little bit, and that release point goes upwards. But I've heard you say plenty of times, Mark, that getting on top of that baseball and pulling it down.
That's a beauty there.
Yeah, he's made the adjustment early on, Mark. You're exactly right. It looked like he was working underneath it, pushing it. Elbow was down a little bit. Even the fastball was up. Now it just takes that little bit out in front, just a little bit more, to get that release point down to where it's at the knees or below the knees to be effective with that number 2. There it is again.
And another strikeout. It's 4th and 5th of the game as he gets both Peraza and Barnhart with a curveball. Middle of the 4th. Padres need a run to tie.
Myself, you know, he really taught me a lot about hitting. He is the best hitter I've played with in my career, and you know, it was just good to be able to watch him play every single day. And you know, he might not think so, but I learned a lot from him, just watching him go about his business and some of the things he said to me.
Well, there's the comments of Wil Myers on the departed Matt Kemp. That's interesting. The best hitter that he's ever played with, and he's been with some other teams that had some men that knew how to handle the bat, so it's a nice compliment to Kemp.
You know, Dick, I'll say this too, that it is very strange when you lose a teammate of yours, because the whole process goes through from spring training all the way to now, and if it's years, it's further. But say this, Wil Myers now is the bona fide face of the franchise.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a new responsibility of Wil Myers and how he handles himself, how he conducts conversations within the locker room and the dugout. And I think the organization's hoping for Wil Myers to step up and grow up a little bit more and take that responsibility on.
The perfect mold for that, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
Ryan Schimpf leads off the 4th inning.
It takes me back to when I was in Colorado, and Larry Walker's there, and it's his team. But Todd Helton's right there and performing better than Larry Walker.
Line drive foul.
So if you look at that, and an organization has to trade an icon like a Larry Walker, well, here it is. Todd Helton, and took him down to the 2007 World Series when they lost to the Red Sox. But that's an important time for an organization to change that and give it to Todd Helton that's going to take over those leadership roles.
Do you think that management, Andy Green, has gone to Myers, or they'll give it a little time and just say, you know, they got to kind of coach that along, don't they?
Well, I think, yeah, it's coachable, but it's also one of those things that you don't want to force on somebody. You can't just say, hey, you're the leader. There's been a lot of people that I've been around that aren't the face of the organization, but their leadership skills come out in that locker room and translate into the field.
Ideally, you have one of those on your pitching staff and another in your everyday ball players, your position players. Schimpf caught looking. And Bailey is rolling along since he gave up a single to Blash in the 1st inning. It's now 8 in a row. Time for the top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. George Foster, one of the Reds of yesteryear, and he came from the Giants for Frank Duffy and Vern Geichert. 11 years with Cincinnati, 244 home runs, a great 19-year major league career, George Foster.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget that he was a Giant. And, you know, back in the early 70s, they had some good young talent. Gary Matthews, George Foster. Had a good supply of outfielders.
Jabari Blash singled his first time up in his return to the big leagues.
Mark, how about you on leadership and anointing somebody as a leader rather than
I think it has to happen
earning it
through osmosis. I don't think it's something that a manager can dub. You know, I dub you the Mark Sweeney, the leader of this club. No, I think it's a case where a player has to take it upon himself, and through time in that clubhouse, you earn that respect, and you walk the walk. And you lead by example.
Yeah, credibility. It means a lot, and how you perform and what you do work ethic wise. And it's not necessarily when you're going well, it's when you're failing, and are you still a leader. So those are traits that you want to look upon. And to your point, Dick, yes, it might have to be a reliever for that pitching staff, or maybe even a starter, a bona fide starter. But from the position player side, I think it has to come from an everyday player.
And teams that have a leader or several are the teams you can look to see in the playoffs. It's a valued commodity, and it's not just how well you field it and hit it and throw it. And this is a long, long sports season. When you count spring training, these men are together more than with their families, and you're playing 200 games, and some don't like each other as much as other teammates, and you've got to maintain that kind of everyone pulling their oar headed in the same direction, not too much meism. Swing and a miss, and Bailey is finding his groove. A couple of quick strikeouts here in the fourth. Schimpf and Blash.
Bailey's got the good fastball going free and easy, getting through that, elevating the fastball just above the belt buckle. And you know, baseball is, guys, one of the few sports that has a captain. Through the course of the history of this great game, you know, the Lou Gehrig's, the Derek Jeters, the Barry Larkins, the John Francos. It takes time for a manager to really see a guy walk the walk and talk the talk in the clubhouse before they slap that label on him.
100%.
Bethancourt flying to center his first at bat.
Now you can look at the Boston Red Sox, and Jason Varitek comes to mind, where he wore the C on his jersey. Probably wasn't the prime player on the club, but everyone in that room respected him and his message.
Well, they say in St. Louis that on the pitching side, Wainwright serves that function.
Well, guys have reputations in the game. You look at a Derek Jeter and what he molded, not only for the Yankees but for Major League Baseball. I would have to say Dustin Pedroia for the Red Sox.
Oh, strikes out the side. Schimpf, Blash, and Bethancourt down on strikeouts.
and been in every small village and major city in the United States. But today, on this golden day here in Cooperstown, a journey that started 63 years ago, I feel that finally I've come home. Thank you.
And that was a memorable moment in Padres history, brought to you by Geico. It was on this date in 2005, the beloved Colonel Jerry Coleman inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving the Ford C. Frick Award, and honored here at Petco Park as a player, as an American hero serving in the Marines, and as a broadcaster. Just to hear his voice again, it makes you feel rich.
Missed the Colonel big time.
I do too. Puts a smile on your face, but that thought of him not having those baseball conversations with the Colonel, I miss those.
Clemens induces Bailey to ground out to the second baseman Schiff for the first out here in the top of the 5th inning. You know, we have that little flashback and tribute to George Foster of the Reds, and I feel that we didn't quite give him his full due with that. I mean, he was an outstanding contributor for the Reds. He had 52 home runs one year, and he was the National League MVP. So not just an ordinary, really good outfielder. He was an outstanding star.
Yeah, ball jumped off his bat. One of the first guys I remember using an all-black bat.
Yeah.
Training corps is out to, along with manager Green, to check on Clemens.
Well, you know, last inning, guys, when he was out there, after he struck out, I forgot who it was.
Barnhart.
He went behind the mound, and this was after the completion of the inning.
Yeah, and you could see him, and might even been Peraza that you could see him rotating himself a little bit. Then he took down Barnhart, but that's what you're worried about. They had conversations after the inning was over.
Because after that one,
looks like he doesn't want to stay. Everyone else stays on the mound, and he's walking slowly off the field.
Yeah, he went behind the mound there and squatted down in a catcher's position and got back, and then started to twist a little bit, and then went in the dugout and they were talking to him. A slow walk off the field for Paul Clemens.
Well, mindful of Colin Ray, who goes to Miami, and he started last night, and he had to leave the game with arm problems, as pitching change made here at Petco, with the Reds leading 2-1. Talking with manager Green, forced to leave the game here with one out in the 5th inning. And going back to the last inning when he struck out Peraza, check on the reaction of Clemens here.
Yeah, he kind of does some twisting and turning, and then he goes into a catcher squat. Kind of bends back a little bit.
So he leaves 4 in the 3rd innings, a couple of runs, 4 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. And hopefully this isn't anything serious. Bad news for the Padres coming from the minor leagues. The top prospect from the Marlins, Chris Paddock, that was acquired in the Fernando Rodney trade, has come up with a bad elbow, and I understand that he's considering Tommy John surgery. So just a couple of games in the minor leagues in the Padre organization, and Paddock highly regarded as an elbow problem. And you haven't heard any official word about Colin Ray, who had to leave the game last night for Miami in his first start there. As a pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford, it's Matt Thornton.
Well rested Matt Thornton. Last time out was Monday in Toronto.
First pitch swinging, and Hamilton sends it to Blash in right field. He's been busy today. That's his 4th putout. Brings up Zach Cozart. 2 away now in the 5th. Cozart is singled and out on a hard ground ball to third.
Hey there, big leaguers. Seeing the big leagues.
They brought their gloves. They're smart.
Oh, by the way, have you guys seen the documentary Fastball on Netflix?
I have not.
I've heard it's terrific.
This morning.
Both you guys are in it.
We're in it.
Yep. Mark Sweeney talking about Aroldis Chapman. A little comment.
Heard he's got a good breaking ball.
Yeah, it's 103 miles an hour.
And then Dick, your call of Nolan Ryan's no hitter in Detroit.
Oh.
It's a fascinating documentary. You really got to watch it.
It's on Netflix, is it? I pop up on the infield, center of the diamond, and Myers calling off his crew and all the way to second base for the out. 1-2-3 inning for the Reds. Halfway mark in this one, a 1-run game. Padres baseball brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. By Jack in the Box, taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. Bottom of the 5th, Padres trailing the Reds 2-1 in this rubber game of the 3-game series. As the Reds shut out San Diego 6-0 on Friday night, the Padres with an exciting walk-off win in 10 innings last night, 2-1, and that's the score today with the Reds on top thanks to Jose Peraza's 2-run home run. Jose Rondon leading it off here in the Padre 5th inning. Grounded sharply to short his first time. Drill instructors having a brief respite from their troops. Saw a fly ball to shortstop, and Cozart there for it. One away. Today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Major League leaders, most walk-off wins, not just home runs, but walk-off wins this year. The Padres right up there. The Astros have excited their fans with 8 walk-off wins. The Padres, the Giants, and Twins with 7.
Well, including Adam Rosales' last night's first walk-off home run in his career.
That's something.
That was exciting. Any walk-off hits for you, Mark Sweeney?
Not home runs.
No, but as far as just a hit, walking it off, nice.
Which is fun. It's fun to bounce around and celebrate.
Who was it off?
I have no idea.
Come on.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
You had a bagel.
No, that was today.
Oh.
But a pitcher doesn't throw you breakfast. I mean, the pitcher that's a little different here.
I know, but if he did throw me breakfast, I'd probably remember.
Oh, okay. Look who's in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter, Edwin Jackson. That gives you an idea of how thin the ranks are for Andy Green. Injuries and trades, and it's been a scramble for Green to even set a lineup.
Well, you need to have versatility, and you can see Andy Green has to try to be creative. But Adam Rosales gives you that versatility. You saw that late change yesterday, but also being able to move around the diamond and place some people, and he ends up being the hero after coming in last night late.
2-2 the count. And another strikeout for Bailey. That's his 5th. So Edwin Jackson, who has 3 hits, is Buddy Ballman warming up in the pen. Jackson 3 for 6. 500 average, leads the club. Get him up there.
Yeah, why not? Best athletes on the field, as my good partner Mark Grant says.
Hey, he's got good back control. You get on base, you don't burn a player here. You're only trailing by a run. Still plenty of baseball left. Right?
Absolutely. Check swing. He goes around. First time in his long career that Jackson has been utilized as a pinch hitter. History, personal history for him. He pops it up back to the plate. Well, as we cruise along here, 2 outs in the 5th inning. One must note that the man on the mound, Homer Bailey, he had been pitching since April of a year ago, recovering from Tommy John, and there were a lot of questions, himself included. How well would he pitch today coming back? Well, the answers are pretty positive.
And we talked to a bunch of people from the Reds, and he had forearm surgery before the Tommy John surgery.
And he strikes out another, a half dozen in the game. He is retired 13 in a row, and the Reds continue to hold on to the 2-1 lead. Montgomery. The Padres scored first. Travis Jankowski with a single to lead off the first inning. On a hit and run, gets to second base safely ahead of a possible double play, then goes to third, steals third, a big play because with one out, that allows Will Myers to drive him in with a ground ball to shortstop, and the Padres had a 1-0 lead. Their only run and the only inning with hits against Bailey. And there's the big blow of the game. Jose Peraza's first major league home run with a man on to give the Reds a 2-1 lead. And the bad news for the Padres, already struggling with the rotation. Well, Clemens trying to work his way into one of the spots, has to lead the game in the 5th inning, stretching that side and back. We'll get a word on his condition. Michelle Margot's on the case. That's our Harrah's game summary as Buddy Baumann comes in to pitch here in the 6th inning. Joey Votto leads off for the Reds. Soft fly ball over the shift. Well, that's the way to beat it as well. Don't hit it too hard. Just get it over the man in shallow right. And Votto has his first hit, and that's a 15-game hitting streak for him.
Boy, Mark Sweeney, you don't know whether Joey Votto is going to park one, whether he's going to lace from the left center field gap, or be a little bit too quick and beat the shift out shallow right field. He just uses the whole field. He's got a good compact swing.
Yeah, you've seen him at times, and when he tries to power the ball, it's usually to that left center area. But just a line drive stroke in that appearance.
Duvall has walked and struck out against Clemens. Got inside on him there, and a quick throw by Rondon, and not in. Oh, it is in time. I thought it's going to be challenged. He sure looks safe from here. First base umpire Estabrook appeared to give the outside. You know, that's one of the delights of this series. We haven't had a challenge the first 2 games of the series. Not one delay.
See Rondon, it looked like he was indecisive to see if he was going to go to second base or first, and you see that foot down by Duvall.
Clearly safe. Could save himself some time. This shouldn't take long in New York.
I thought he had an opportunity to get Votto at second base. Votto was not running particularly hard to second base, but his body was positioned to go to first a lot easier. But it would have been a shorter throw for Rondon.
Looked like he had trouble getting a solid grip on the ball, so he had to take an extra step. 2 extra steps before throwing, and that allowed Duvall to beat the one-hop throw. And he is safe. So a couple of men aboard for the Reds here to open the 6th inning on a bloop single by Votto and a scratch infield hit from Duvall. And we're going to have a pitching change as manager Green goes out. And Baumann there to face Votto, the left-handed hitter, and Duvall. Now Brandon Phillips up, and he's going to go back to the pen for a right-handed pitcher. No indication yet. And maybe this is just a visit. Nope, there's the signal. He wants the right-hander. Well, that's tough luck for Buddy Baumann. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. A couple of scratch swings, and they come up hits for the Reds. It's still 2-1 on Military Marine Sunday at Petco. brought in from the Padre bullpen. And down on the farm, a couple of bright stars. Manny Margot, acquired in the Kimbrel trade from the Red Sox, a center fielder, 24 steals, hitting .305 at El Paso, and #1 draft pick 3 years ago with the Padres, Hunter Renfroe, out of Mississippi State, leading the PCL with 25 homers and 88 runs batted in. Sooner or later, we're going to see those two men here at Petco.
A couple of blue chips in the farm system, and, you know, I'm really excited. We saw a lot of Manny Margot in spring training. Very impressed. Center field, got some speed, very athletic. Hey, Hunter Renfroe, right fielder, right? Pop, see him in September maybe. Right now, and I said in our pregame show, Mark Sweeney, I don't think there's really a need to bring him up here right now. Jabari Blash is the guy. Give him some reps, and then maybe we'll see Hunter Renfroe, first of all, try to win a championship down there in El Paso, and then possibly get called up.
Well, what the need is to put pressure on your development staff to get these guys ready for the big leagues. There's been so many times we've seen in the last few years that guys have been pushed. They haven't been ready for the big leagues. So, yes, I think A.J. Preller and his staff want to see some development in some notches set up in those situations for those two young players. Yes, the numbers indicate that they're ready to come up here, but this is also a different level. And you wonder, you don't want them to come up and fail and have to send them back, even though sometimes that works. But I'd like to see both of those young men come up here and stay in the big leagues.
Not go back. They're so ready that Major League ready that that's the start of their careers and continuing careers. Here's Brandon Phillips, 2 on, no one out. And Jose Dominguez coming in out of the pen. 0-2 the count.
We've got a wide strike zone this afternoon. Ramon De Jesus behind the plate. And it's been both ways too.
A classic example, going back to your point, Mark Sweeney, about bringing him up too soon and not ready, so you have to send him back down. Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
You know, he came up, he had a little success, and then was really floundering. They sent him back down, and management at the time felt he wasn't ready, and eventually traded for Cashner. Base hit to center field. Everyone moves up 90 feet on the Phillips single. So Votto and Duvall didn't hit it hard for base hits, and then Phillips finds a hole up the middle to load him up. And that brings up Suarez.
When we talk about the Peraza home run, look at where Paul Clemens wanted to throw it, down and away. And Peraza, Mark Sweeney, if taken probably a ball, well, he turned down that inside pitch quickly.
Well, I agree with you. It was going to be a ball, so that indicates that he was looking on that inside part of the plate and sets up where Bethancourt possibly getting a 2-ball here. You want to work on that outside part of the plate. Have him go the other way.
Suarez was the star in the 6-0 win on Friday night, knocking in 4 runs. Bases loaded, no one out. And that one just fouled.
Well, there he is again, looking for that ball in, and the fastball on the inside part of the plate, 97 miles an hour, had something to do with that. But with the bases loaded, you're trying to do some damage if you're in the offensive end, and you're looking, especially when you have a home run to your name, you're looking to do damage and drive the baseball.
Meanwhile, the Padres infield set up the middle for 2, in at the corners, and try to make the play at the plate. As Dominguez sends another fastball at 96, too low.
He's in at the corners.
They'll sacrifice the run to get a double play up the middle. 2-1 Cincinnati. Tough spot here for Dominguez and the Padres, trying to get out of this jam. Unleashes another at 96. It's 2-1. Along with the 4 RBIs on Friday night, Suarez doubled and scored the only run for the Reds last night. Levels the count. So the Tigers win their 6th in a row with an 11-0 shellacking of Houston today. They stay only 4.5 back of Cleveland. Milwaukee heading west. Open the series tomorrow night with a victory. Beat Pittsburgh today 4-2. And the count full. No place to put him. The home run hitter Peraza next.
But a good firm fastball, knee high, outside corner.
Yeah.
Challenge him.
Fouls it back. Well, it's that old time, you know. You got to check it. It's a Cholula flamethrower.
Mark Sweeney, what do you got?
Oh my goodness. 97.
What is that?
And it's your own guy. Hot sauce coming at you. Can't get hot sauce past T. Gwynn. No chance, Mr. Padre.
Again, bases loaded and another 3-2 pitch with no one out. Chop to third. To the plate for one. Back to first. Safe. And a good play made by Myers. That ball could be rolling and round in the right field corner. A tough one hopper from Bethancourt. So the Padres get one out. Safe is Suarez. And the bases remain loaded with one out.
Guys, that could have been nasty, right, Mark? What a nice pick down there at first base by Will Myers. Suarez getting down the line quickly. Okay. Bethancourt short hopping. Oh my goodness gracious. How he come up with that one? Wow.
That's at least 2 runs. That doesn't show in the box score tomorrow that Myers makes that play. So here's Peraza already the man of the hour with his first major league home run. A man on back in the second inning for the 2-1 lead. Came into the game with only 6 RBIs all season. Infield now back at check swing. All positions except for Will Myers at first. He stays in on the grass. Rosales backs up. His double play opportunity would go to second and first. Oh, you get out of bases loaded, no on jam. That should really boost the Padres going ahead. Pops him up. Infield fly rule. Rondon with the catch, 2 away. Down to the catcher, Tucker Barnhart.
All right, well, he had the key in his stomach. He's upside down in the water chamber. He just spit it up. It's in his mouth. And now he's got to get that key to his hand to undo the handcuffs.
Yes.
To get out of this mess.
And then swim away from all the sharks and get in the dugout, right? Well, so far so good. He gets Suarez on the ground out. Play at the plate and Peraza to pop up. Barnhart has popped and struck out. Switch hitting catcher. Barrels in a fastball at 96. He's been consistent in his velocity.
Yeah, that arm side fastball is his comfort zone too. You can almost see that just bearing in on that outside part of the plate.
Tough out. A 300 hitter, bases loaded. And there it is, off Dominguez's leg. That's going to get a run home. Everyone moves up 90 feet. It's 3-1. Well, the kick save by Dominguez saved another run. That ball would have gone into center field for a 2-run single. Barnhart delivers his 27th RBI. Duvall scores from third.
Yeah, it's too bad. Sometimes that ball just doesn't bounce your way. And you know what? If that ball gets by him, there's a good chance. Did you see Rondon? He was kind of going over towards second base. That ball kicks up, kind of stops it a little bit up in the air, a little hump. We'll never know. And the Reds add on.
Brings up Bailey. And he chops it to first. Easy play from Myers. He'll go to the bag himself for the final out. Well, not bad. Bases loaded, no one out. Only 1 run scores. It's 3-1 Reds. Bailey today, after giving up 3 singles and a run in the first inning, has mowed down 13 straight Padres. This is the kind of pitcher that can throw a no-hitter and has in back-to-back seasons. In command now with 6 strikeouts. Has not walked a man, and on his return to the mound after Tommy John surgery and other forearm surgery a year ago. Time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia, and Bailey is the man there with his mitts wrapped around the wheel. 3 hits were singles in the first inning after Jankowski singled and moved around on a steal of third and scored on a ground out. A couple of 2-out singles from Schimpf and Blash. Nothing since.
Only 66 offerings to this point, 45 strikes. He's been pounding the strike zone.
Jankowski leads off the 6th. The Padres now trailing 3-1.
That changes your perspective, because when coming into this game you wanted to try to get Bailey out of the game as fast as possible. Now him throwing strikes, you might shift your approach.
Ground ball pulled to Votto at first. He hustles to the bag ahead of Jankowski. 14 in a row for Bailey. Well, the Giants this year, after May 10th, 17-18, after enjoying a big lead in the NL West. They're 3-11 since the All-Star break, and their lead over the Dodgers down to 2.
You know, Bruce Bochy's not known for team meetings, but after that record, after the All-Star game, I think it's time to reevaluate where guys are and what you're doing. Obviously, that's not the start they wanted coming out of the break. But knowing Bruce Bochy, getting his troops ready, we all know that he's going to get those guys in the right order moving forward.
Colorado finally lost today after a 5-game win streak. They're 8.5 back, but they're starting to flirt with ideas of the wild card, the Rockies.
And you know what, guys, when you look at this game of baseball, history tells us that even the winning teams, they go through funks like that. Still plenty of time left, too, as we just approach the end of July, to where they can straighten things out. Hunter Pence is back. Joe Panik's on his way back, too.
He's back.
He's back now?
Yeah, so that makes a big difference for the Giants. That Hunter Pence is really, he runs the engine. He is the engine.
Well, to Dick's point, too, and you look at the Dodgers in second place. Yes, they've been playing very well without Clayton Kershaw, but they still don't have a exact date when he's going to come back. So that gives Colorado an in to possibly get into second place.
Amarista with 3 hits last night drills that one to right field, and that snaps a string of 14 straight outs thrown by Homer Bailey. So brings the tying run to the plate as well here in the 6th.
It's like a little slider, speeding up the bat of Alexi Amarista. Oh, Mark Sweeney, you batted from the left side. When you saw that like cement mixer that was middle in, that was just.
Yeah, gets you right in that hitting zone. A lot of left-handers like it down and in. They could drop the barrel of the bat right in that zone, just like Amarista did. He had a nice approach last night, transferring into today on that swing.
Myers has grounded out twice in the first inning, knocked in a run with his ground ball out to short. .92 on the Bailey fastball. Here's the report on starting pitcher Paul Clemens, who had to leave the game in the 5th inning. Lower back tightness. Felt something in that lower back. No further details. One out here in the bottom of the 6th. Rubber game of the 3-game series. Myers due to tag one.
Well, the attention he's giving to Amarista, you wonder if he's going to try to go to that breaking ball early. Well, goes with the fastball.
Same speed, 92, gets the strike. Bailey, highly regarded out of LaGrange, Texas. 1st-round pick of the Reds 12 years ago, 7th overall selection. There's the breaking ball, 2-1.
always try to pick out tendencies that pitchers have and the success they're having, and especially with Brian Price, the manager of the Reds. Seeing him get ahead with that fastball and then the breaking stuff, curveball and changeup.
Strike at the knees, 2-2.
And he counters with the slider. Pepper in the knees. Good pitch. You know, he's really getting up on top of his pitches, getting through his pitches. Homer Bailey as Blake Wood heats up.
One out here, and Amarista drawing a lot of attention.
It almost looked like a balk with his feet. Kind of got tangled up a little bit.
Mixing his 4 pitches, a healthy variety.
Yeah, really low on the fastball, 52%. That's low.
And the count's full. Ryan Schimpf, placed in the cleanup spot this afternoon, is on deck. 18 in the first inning when the Padres scored their run on 3 singles. Goodness. Amarista does have 7 steals this year.
Barnhart out there having a chat, saying, hey, what do you want to throw here? You know, they might send the guy. I think they're going to send him.
Yeah.
Want to go to the fastball down and away? You want to go to the breaking ball, the slider? What do you feel comfortable with in this type of situation?
See if Amarista is going now with the count 3-2. Yes. Ball 4, no throw. And Myers joins Amarista. The tying run is on. That's just the first walk of the game from Homer Bailey.
Well, nice at bat by Wil Myers, and the reason for it, he got behind early in the count and worked his way, stayed in the strike zone. At bats are going to change for Wil Myers, in my opinion, because of the protection factor that comes into play now with this new lineup of the Padres.
There are the hits for Schimpf this year. He's got a single today. Matches his doubles count and more home runs, 9. Made him a very attractive addition to the club. Try to get something he can pull deep against the tiring Bailey. Good pitch.
Now let's see if he goes to the breaking stuff, the off-speed pitches. He's thrown the changeup in this situation. He's thrown that slider and also the curveball.
Amarista at second. Myers the tying run at first. Fastball inside.
You know, his last at bat when he struck him out looking, he tied him up with a fastball inside on the inside part of the plate. Got him looking. First 2 pitches here, Ian, with the fastballs.
Runners go, and they both are safe. A double steal. Barnhart had trouble getting a clean grip, and the surprise element, a double steal, and the Padres now have Myers the tying run in scoring position.
They one-looked him at second base. It was a breaking ball down. Does it bounce? Picked out of the dirt and then cannot find the handle.
That's the 18th steal for Myers, the 8th for Amarista. And Schimpf now with a count 2-1. Chance to tie it up. Inside, not by much. Doesn't get the call, Bailey.
He's pounding him inside.
With the exception of third baseman Suarez, the infield back, they'll concede a run for an out. Very nice there. Mark Rand, he's getting really fancy with that, huh?
He's an artist. back-to-back meetings this inning, and you wonder if Homer Bailey is tiring in this situation. To your point, Dick, earlier, this is when you have to capitalize on pitchers that you never know how deep they're going to go in the game, how they feel stamina-wise. There's a major difference between a rehab start and a start at the big league level.
No question about it. Wood looks like he's ready to go. Be interesting to see with Jabari Blash, the right-hander on deck. Does he want a fresh Blake Wood against a guy like Blash, rather than a third time around for Blash against Homer Bailey?
Schimpf sitting on a 3-1 pitch with 2 men in scoring position in a 3-1 game, bottom of the 6th. In the dirt, and it gets away. Here comes Amarista, and he is out. Oh, a gamble by Amarista on a short bounce away from the catcher Barnhart. And we may have a challenge of it, but that was a perfect play by Barnhart to scramble after it and throw to Bailey covering, and had the ball right there to tag. Amarista, it appeared he got him before he hit home plate. Boy, that's a big out to make a second out at home plate.
You know, Mark and Dick, I think Homer Bailey's glove got him right before the plate. I think that was a perfect tag by Homer Bailey.
Perfect throw.
Yeah.
Watch how he slaps it right on the top corner.
Yeah. You know what's amazing? Bailey gets this ball on the first base side up. Look at that. It's up by his left shoulder. Then he's got to bring it all the way back around. You know what? That's an interesting shot.
That's a pretty athletic play by the pitcher.
You can see Amarista indicating he's safe even while he's continuing his head first slide. But the call is out, and that is a huge out in this game. Schimpf had walked. It was ball 4. So the bases would be loaded with 1 out. Now it's first and third with 2 outs.
I think that play gives Homer Bailey another opportunity and maybe another hitter, because of last at bat against Blash, he got him with that fastball elevated for a strikeout.
Well, Blash, first game since being recalled from El Paso, has a single and a strikeout. Takes the breaking ball outside. We saw in spring training how incredibly strong this man is. He can hit it a long way.
Yeah, an opposite field as well. He has power to both sides.
Perfect pitch, knee high outside corner. At El Paso, hit 10 home runs, make that 11 homers and 30 runs batted in. Just 177 at bats. Fool there, off speed.
Breaking up the slider and the yacker. The old number 2 curveball right there to Blash. He's got them all working.
Myers at third. Schimpf, the tying run at first.
Yeah, you wonder if he's going to elevate that fastball out of the strike zone here.
Breaking ball.
Inside. Changeup. 2-2. They're saying, bring me home, Jabari.
You know, whenever you see that catcher with the wide stance behind home plate, pretty good chance it's going to be a breaking ball, because they want to get in that position to go down to their knees to block the breaking ball. Let's see how he sets up here. Barnhart.
Hard to see with the shadows, the signals. Yeah, now a little closer look.
Change up, down. Fastball up.
Nope. Outside, barely. Full count. So with 1 out, Amarista singled to right. Myers walked. And then as Schimpf walked, the ball got away from Barnhart, but Barnhart and Bailey made a good play to tag out Amarista trying to score. And now 3-2 on a long inning for Bailey.
breaking ball.
Outside, ball 4. So that's 3 consecutive walks, but no damage done yet by the Padres. And here comes a runner to the plate. Myers, does he score? Did they call time? If they didn't call time, Myers has just pilfered a run. My, oh my. You don't see that one very often. Myers with help from Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach. And watch what happens here. The pitch, ball 4. Bailey gets the ball, disgusted with himself, turns his back, and Myers says, the door is open. And it's now 3-2. He caught the entire Reds off guard on that play. He steals a run, 3-2 the score. And a pitching change made. That's how Homer Bailey exits the game. 3-2. Sixth inning, have scored a run, single, 3 walks, a man thrown out at the plate, and then Myers steals home. It is another stolen base for Myers, his 19th of the season, as Bailey turned his back to the play.
Well, there's so many times that you credit your scouting department for some of the situations here, and you read Homer Bailey just having that meeting with himself behind the mound, and easily scoring is Wil Myers, a heads-up play.
Blake Wood out of the bullpen for Cincinnati to pitch to Christian Bethancourt. Padres have the tying run. Schimpf at second. A go-ahead score is Blash at first.
Strikeout pitcher Blake Wood. 48 strikeouts and 48 in the third. Fastball, slider, changeup, mid-90s.
And he's quickly in front of Bethancourt, 2 strikes. Bailey a lot to think about in returning first game in some 14 months, and then to have the Padres steal a run on him. 2 strikes to count. Good block by Barnhart on this off-speed pitch. So he has perfect control, Bailey, the entire game, then suddenly walks 3 in a row.
Yeah. Definitely took his time this past inning. Tucker Barnhart went out for 2 conversations with him. Trying to get through that last part of the inning was tough for Bailey today.
Strike 3 called. Caught the outside corners as plate umpire DeJesus, and the Padres settled for 1 run on the 1 hit. It's 3-2 Cincinnati. Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Great to have the U.S. Marine Corps saluted today here at Petco Park. And of course, we'll have the singing of God Bless America, stretch half of the 7th as part of the flyover. It's the Camp Pendleton 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing stationed at Miramar here with us today. Brad Hand, the pitcher. Billy Hamilton leads it off here in the 7th. Hamilton has struck out and flied twice to Blash in right field.
Brad Hand was the benefactor of the win last night. Pitched an inning, struck out 1 red. 52nd game for Brad. He's had one heck of a year. He's done a fine job.
Late jab at the ball, trying to bunt his way on Hamilton, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, another tight one. Padres have been engaged in 15 one-run games. They're 6-9 this year. Winning it last night. Another fly ball to right. That's 3 straight times Hamilton has flied to Blash in right field, as we remind you that today's game is presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. Zach Cozart, the batter, a single in 3 trips. Peek out on the park in the park of that terrific statue of Mr. Padre.
Never gets old, huh?
That really is a beauty. There's so many statues, and there tend to be tributes, and I think of the one in St. Louis of Stan Musial. It just didn't look anything like Musial. I mean, he had him in that crouch
right.
That was famous, but I mean, the artist took some liberty with the appearance of Stan. But that Tony Gwynn statue is on the money.
I'm telling you what, we do a lot of traveling, as you said, Dick, and we see all those. And I'm not just saying this. That is the best likeness of any of the Hall of Famers or somebody they pay tribute in any ballpark. That statue of Tony.
And rightfully so. Shouldn't be anything but the best. 1-2 now, the count to Cozart. And another of the Colonel there. That's a good one. What a handsome guy, huh? And beautiful inside as well. Everyone's friend, the Colonel.
I remember when I forgot who it was I was talking to, but they were talking to Jerry, and they said of his whole career, what it encompassed, he was most proud of the time that he served our country, and that's why the statue is made in his flight gear.
No, we heard him say it many times. That with all the honors as a broadcaster, as a baseball player, the greatest thrill for him was to wear that Marine uniform. 120 combat missions, fans. I know we've said it before, but some of you haven't heard it. In 2 different wars, World War II, Korean War, he flew 120 combat missions and comes back as a hero.
Yeah, that's just not flying off the deck and going for a cruise and just checking out the scenery. That's some pretty hairy stuff.
You're flying through a lot of flak. Another chance for Blash. Boy, the ball has been attracted to his glove all day long.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Well, there's some games, Mark Grant, where you can be in the right field and you don't even get a smell of the baseball. It just never comes to you. And here Blash has 6 putouts today. So 2 gone to Joey Votto. He's flied to right, struck out and singled. And with a breaking ball strike. Another strike, this time the fastball at 94.
Yeah, he's got some giddy up. He's touched 96 And when he's got the crosshairs right on that outside corner to the lefties, he's plain nasty, Brad Hand.
Not dirty, though, just nasty.
Nasty. Filthy. You can go filthy.
Filthy? Okay.
Yeah. So he throws up a breaking ball here. Oh, two-seam 93.
Yeah, Hand is a perfect name for a relief pitcher. Give his teammates a hand.
Yeah. Slider.
Just did foul it away. Votto at the last minute pulling the triggers. It fouled that right out of the catcher's glove. Three runs, 8 hits for the Reds. 2 runs, 4 hits for San Diego. They've really stolen 2 runs today. Both runs involved stolen bases. Inside. Jankowski, with 1 out after he singled in the first inning, stole third and thus was able to score on a ground out by Myers. And then Myers steals home when Homer Bailey turns his back on the play, and timeout had not been called. Two and two. Inside again. That's 3 in a row after the count had started in Hand's favor. 2 strikes. Duvall on deck. Could have gone either way. It goes to Votto's side as a walk, is 77th of the season.
Hey, you want more on San Diego sports? Well, watch the Loose Cannons of Extra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego for all the latest news on the Padres, Chargers, and more. Weeknights this season on Fox Sports San Diego.
This beautiful Sunday continues with Andy Green's Padres down by a run, 3-2 here in the 7th. Duvall has walked, struck out, and an infield hit to shortstop and scored a run in the 6th inning. That'll be into the lower deck off to the right. Well, a year ago on this day, the Reds and Giants made the swap. Duvall coming to Cincinnati, where he's contributed 25 homers this year, and Mike Leake went for a couple of months to San Francisco and didn't do well there with the Giants. 2-5. One and one. Leake now, of course, with the St. Louis Cardinals, and is 7-7 this season.
Yeah, think of all the former arms that the Redlegs had. They had Mike Leake, Johnny Cueto, Matt Latos was there a while, and they all went their certain ways. But they tied up Homer Bailey because they wanted to show the fans some commitment to one of the starters in the rotation, and he was that guy. All the other guys were dealt.
Late swing, 1-2. 95 from Hand.
As I mentioned earlier, quite a commitment to Homer Bailey with the multi-year deal he's signed through 2020.
So he's 30 now, and so he's signed till he's 34. But a good sign, indication of his health was he was solid today.
Yes, he was.
1-2. Out of play. The attendance announced 27,436. Room for you coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Brewers. Then Philadelphia. Fighting Phils come in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice home stand here at Petco. Two outs, a ball and 2 strikes to Duvall. Breaking ball is in there. Strike 3. That's it for the Reds in the top of the 7th. Middle of the 7th, the stretch half. Reds in front 3-2. Breaking ball snapping into the strike zone. Beautifully thrown by Brad Hand. Let's go to Alex Miniak, and he's going to introduce our singer in God Bless America.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here on Military Sunday, please stand and welcome Katrina Pizak, spouse of Marine First Sergeant Brad Pizak, stationed at Camp Pendleton. Please sing along as she presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Katrina Pizak.
So bottom of the 7th, the Padres trailing the Reds 3-2. Lakewood continues on the mound for Cincinnati, and Jose Rondon, Adam Rosales, and the pitcher spot due for the Padres. Young Rondon has grounded to short and popped to short. Made his first big league start last night. A single and 4 at bats. In there. Rondon in 96 games at San Antonio hit .279 with 5 home runs. Bounces that one to the right side. Votto covering the line, and there's one away. Adam Rosales grounded to third and struck out. The hero last night with the home run in the 10th inning to win it 2-1. Recruits about to vacate the upper right field corner, head back to base. Great to have him here.
Yeah, we wish them well on their way to earn their Eagle, Anchor, and Globe.
Godspeed to them all. It's got to be a wonderful break from all the activity as a recruit. There are not many happy times in those weeks of recruit training. Talk about hard work. Outside 2-0.
Well, judging from last night, you know, pitchers, relievers, they watch every pitch. Saw the pitch that Adam Rosales hit for the home run. Looks like Blake Wood trying to keep fastballs away, breaking balls away. As he jumped all over that Jumbo Diaz fastball that was up and in a little bit.
And after ball 3. Fouled in and out of the glove of Barnhart. 2-2. Wallace with the bat. Pitcher spot due next. Base is empty here in the 7th. Padres down 3-2. Outside, and the count full to Rosales.
Everything's been away, Dick. What happened last night?
He got it right down the middle of the plate and sent it into the left center field bleachers.
He sure did. Jumbo Diaz missed big time with location. He wanted to bury that pitch down and away.
Fouled, and the count remains full. Brian Buchter would be next.
Breaking ball.
Pulled to third. 2 big hops to Suarez. And he almost pulled Votto off the bag. Joey leaning out as far as he could reach to collect the second out. Time now for the greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile, with the Brewers coming in tomorrow night. Ryan Braun hitting over 300 again this year with 11 homers. Chris Carter is their home run leader at 23 with 58 runs batted in. And Jonathan Villar, 111 hits, and he leads the National League with 38 stolen bases.
Yeah, when you look at the Brewers, and those are maybe the 3 threads, but offensively really not cutting this year. They're 9th in average, 12th in runs, 10th in home runs. Slugging percentage, they're 13th in the National League. So struggling offensively collectively for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Brett Wallace, the premier pinch hitter for the Padres. He's 7 for 28. He's knocked in 3. Shift on. He tried to tie it up with the first swing.
And there's a good look at the shift, heavy on that right side with that lone fielder at shortstop.
Cozart stays at short with Suarez playing shallow right field. Two strikes on Wallace. Six home runs this year, none as a pinch hitter. Flips that one into the Padre dugout. Look at the Padres box score, and only 4 hits. Jankowski, a base hit to start the first inning. And Marista, Schimpf, and Blash, all singles. The big blow was the 2-run homer by Jose Peraza in his first at bat in the second inning off starter Paul Clemens. Peraza's first major league homer with a man on. That took the 1-0 Padre lead to a 2-1 Reds advantage. Two and two.
Well, change up away prior to that pitch, but trying to tie up Brett Wallace because they know he can get extended as Travis Jankowski waits on deck. They just don't want Brett Wallace to get those arms extended.
Got him. 1-2-3 inning for Blake Wood. On to the 8th. 3-2 Cincinnati.
Game on the 6th inning, and a ball kicking away from the Reds catcher Alexi Amarista out at the plate. That run turns out to be key, and you'll see why here in a moment.
Well, it was a nice play by Bailey, and then you see the walk to Jabari Blash. He gets the ball, goes behind the mound. Will Myers very aware of what's going on and steals a run on Bailey, who comes out of the game after that walk.
So it's 3-2, and if you have the Amarista run, well, things might be a little bit differently. But Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, brought to you by Cox Communications. I feel like I'm live on the surface of the sun right now. Anyway, my goodness, is it bright. Holy moly, sunny day. When we see you at the post-game show, guys, you're going to hear from Andy Green, also tee you up.
It is a day game.
Milwaukee series. And Mark and I are going to go stumble our way to the chairs now if we don't fall off the set.
Dave, what's going on with Pomerantz? Always bright and sunny. He's actually complaining about the...
He wasn't even squinting. You couldn't even tell.
Hardly squinting at all. Looking like a mole. Come down there on Discovery Channel. Chase me down my hole with a camera.
To the 8th inning we go. Brandon Phillips leads it off for the Reds against Ryan Buchter, the 6th pitcher used by Andy Green today.
Yeah, Ryan pitched a frame last night. Bagels all the way across for the left-hander. That was in the 8th inning.
Having to go to the bullpen early, Andy Green, because of the injury to starter Paul Clemens. Lower back. Phillips, a single the last time, 1 for 3 today. Buchter's 51st game appearance. Solid 2.87 ERA. 161 left-handers, 190 for the righties.
Got to be one of the top stories for the Padres in 2016, huh?
You know that you think about it, we haven't really given enough credit to the scouting department of the Padres to find players like Buchter and sign him. Yeah, no one. He was out there for anyone, and he's really proven his major league worth. And he, of course, isn't the only one. Somebody saw Ryan Schimpf when no one else wanted to sign him to a major league contract. Right field, and Jabari Blash gets another chance. 7 putouts by the right fielder today.
He's getting his road work in out there. Coming in, going out, right, left. Breaking in that glove.
That's the record.
We can look that up.
You really think there's somebody that's kept track of who a
yeah.
right fielder and how many outs in a game for?
Chiron Bob's all over it.
Okay, I don't think so. I think that's asking a bit too much.
Really?
But
I think that's an easy stat to find. Most putouts, right? There would be a putout, right?
All right. Suarez has singled in 3 trips. Well, on this date, there was a happening, and I remember the game. I was in the Detroit area at the time in 1963. It had never happened at the time, and I think it still has never happened in Major League Baseball, where one pitcher allows 4 consecutive home runs in a game. Just four batters in a row homer off for him, because usually after the first or the second, certainly the third, he gets the hook. Paul Foytak of the Detroit Tigers on this date in '63 allowed 4 consecutive home runs. It never happened before.
That's a rough day in the big leagues.
Woody Held, Pedro Ramos, the pitcher, homered off him. Then for Tito Francona and Larry Brown, his first Major League home run. And why I remember that is that there was some Southern teammate of Foytak. He gone bam, 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 4 home runs, and Foytak came down into the dugout, and one of his teammates says, "Them all earned runs, Paul." Oh my. Well, this is not even an exciting stat for Jabari Blash with his 7 putouts. Giancarlo Stanton 9 putouts earlier this year. Who knew?
Well, this year's record is 9 putouts for Giancarlo Stanton. 9 this year.
9 for the man that you scored, 9 for a fly ball to right.
Yep.
That figures, doesn't it? 1-2 now to Suarez. Sundays are days where you get in the mid-afternoon. They're meant to be a laze, you know,
Yeah.
be able to lean back and just kind of take deep breaths and don't worry about things.
I want to put a hammock up here.
Yeah, this is how the game has gone. It's just kind of a lazy pace to it. You know, it's
Hammocks are underrated. When's the last time you laid in a hammock?
we have one actually at our house.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I just can't control. I get in there, it wants to flip me every time.
You get rolled up like a breakfast burrito.
Yeah, Barbara put a seatbelt in there so I can. You know, a little breeze comes up. I start, it flips me right up there. Now I'm all tied up. I can't get out. I'm screaming for help. They're dangerous, you know.
It's like getting taken down by a big spider and they're just weaving a web around you.
But you're right about it. Under the big old elm tree or even under a eucalyptus, you just kind of laze away. 2-2. And finally Suarez down swinging. 2 away here in the 8th.
Well, Ryan Buchter, he's not afraid to bury the fastballs in and then go up out of the zone to the right-handers. He's just aggressive all the way around. I mean, the mindset for Ryan Buchter is, you know what, I'm going to make short work of these hitters, get in and out of there, and the numbers prove that this year for the left-hander.
And fans, if you're just coming back from the beach or a picnic this afternoon and picking up the action, the Padres are down 3-2 in part because the man coming to the plate right now, young Jose Peraza, hit his first major league homer in the 2nd inning off starter Paul Clemens, and here it is to account for 2 of the 3 Cincinnati runs, and a no-doubter 424 feet into that 2nd tier of the Western Metal Supply Company building.
Well, he likes to turn on the fastball in. That's evident after watching that replay.
Rounds it to 3rd, gobbled up by Rosales, fires across for the out, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Buchter. Here come the Padres. They need a run to tie. That's Michael Lorenzen on the mound on Friday night. Pitched 2 innings, struck out 4, allowed only 1 base hit, and he comes in to work the top of the 8th inning. Here he is.
He's got good breaking ball. He's got a good fastball. And one of the things for Brian Price is this: he's not afraid to go multiple innings with his relievers. He's got Raisel Iglesias out there. He's got Tony Cingrani, the lefty, as their closer. But they've got some guys who've got some big league experience now, who were once starters, now relievers, filling that void and doing a fine job at it.
Young Lorenzen's 12th appearance of the season has a win. 18 innings, 19 strikeouts. Top of the order, Jankowski starts it here in the 8th. The Padres trailing 3-2. Okay, here's the answer to most putouts by a right fielder in history. Got to go back to 1982. Tony Armas, the right fielder for the Oakland A's. 11 putouts in a game.
And the captain of the All Anatomy team, Tony Arm.
Oh, so good. Very good. Well, we got hand for the Padres.
Yeah.
Fingers used to be here.
That's right.
Harry hamstring. You got to go back at turn of the century.
Yeah, but he got pulled too many times, so he's up there. That's a lot, though. That's a lot of work, though, right? 11 times, you said, Professor?
11 putouts for Armas.
Yeah.
Jabari Blass with 7 today. So 3-1 to Jankowski. And a strike. 3-2. Appeared to be taken all away. He's trying to get on there, carrying the tie and run. Jankowski, Amarista, and Myers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And he gets him. 95 on the fastball. 9th strikeout by Reds pitching today.
Hey, this is 97 coming at you. 2-seamer in. And you can see that Travis trying to get those hands in to make contact, but a little bit of movement there for the strikeout.
Amarista single in 3 trips after a big night last night. Alexei was 3 for 4 with an RBI that tied the game.
A very nice series for the little ninja.
5 hits total. And could be and is another one. Sounded like he broke his bat, but able to pull it through the hole on the right side. Not many hits in the series for the Padres, but the little ninja with a half dozen.
Oh, another 2-seamer in, and we know that he likes the ball in.
Had that funny sound like he hit that one with a Sunday edition of the UT.
Well, he will, if in fact that bat is broken, he will gladly sacrifice that shillelagh for a big league knock.
So the tying run on with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th, and Will Myers, the last of the big stars, signed a couple of years ago. With Upton and Kemp elsewhere, the pitchers, Shields gone, Ian Kennedy, Cashner. We really do need a program to know the Padres at this point. But Myers is going to be the man, and he leads them in average home runs, RBIs. 1 strike to count. Too low. Lorenzo pumping that catcher's glove of Barnhart at 97 miles an hour. Boston has beaten the Angels today 5-3. Dodgers lead 11-3 over Arizona. Good layoff. 2-1.
Work that hitter's count. Get a good fastball. Get it up.
Giants beat Washington 3-1. They'll hold their lead of 2 over the Dodgers, even if LA should close that out with a big lead. The action pitch, 2-1. Amarista there at first. The Padres have 11 hits the last 2 games. He's got 5 of them. Check swing. Didn't go. 3-1. Boy, that was a wrist-breaking stop of the swing by Myers. How in the world he has that kind of strength? Schimpf would be next. Fouled it away.
I don't know if you've ever done this, Dick, but next time you're down the dugout for BP, talking to Andy, whatever, go over to the bat rack and pick up one of Will Myers' bats.
Heavy?
It's a big bat. And my point is, he is so big and strong that he can manipulate that bat and do some serious damage with it. There's Leonel Campos and
Brandon Maurer, the other right-hander.
It's a big bat. It really puts it in perspective.
He's got a big sweet spot then,
Yep.
you might be saying
Yep.
here, huh? Let's see
Absolutely.
if he can use it. 3-2 the count. Amarista and Myers pulled off a double steal back in the 6th inning, and eventually Myers stole home when Bailey ignored him, turning his back to the game. Full count. Amarista goes. Ball 4. Oh, the tying and go-ahead runs aboard for the Padres here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, that's a really good plate appearance by Will Myers. And not getting too froggy with the Padres trailing by 1. There's a pitch for a strike. Lorenzen trying to go down and away. Now here's the hitter's count, right? 2-1. There's the check.
Whoa, wow.
And, trying to turn on that fastball. But the main thing is Lorenzen trying to pound Will Myers, not get him extended. Pass it on to the next guy, Ryan Schimpf.
Schimpf today looped a single to left, struck out and walked. Hitting in the cleanup spot. 9 home runs with the Padres after hitting 15 in El Paso for the muscular second baseman. Had big forearms. Low, ball 1. See the strength there. Those are Popeye forearms. Amarista tying run out at second. Myers ready to run from first. Ball 2. Lorenzen not showing the control of his work on Friday night. Didn't walk a man in his 2 innings. Low inside pitch.
A slider right there, down and in. Good pitch. He's trying to pound the righties in and the lefties in also. So both sides inside, the righties and lefties alike.
The action pitch, 2-1, 2 men on. That's in there, right in the heart of the plate. Amarista carries the tying score. There's the go-ahead.
Josh Smith, a right-hander, heating up for Cincinnati.
After Schimpf, Jabari Blash scheduled. Has a walk and a single in his return from the minors. Another foul. Good at bat for Ryan Schimpf. Trying to get the Padres even or better. There's a prized souvenir. You're not even going to let his buddy touch it. 2 on, 2-2 the count. Up high, full count, or that hit him. That clipped him. Bases are loaded. So a golden opportunity for the Padres on a single walk and hit batsman. Just caught him on the point of the elbow.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Brian Price, if, he was on top of the dugout chirping for the home plate umpire. Nothing's going to happen there. Amarista likes it.
Taking one for the team, Ryan Schimpf, pitching coach. And for Matt Jenkins, who took over as the pitching coach here at midseason. Well, it's up to Jabari Blash with a chance to make a splash on his return. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. He singled to center, a ground ball single to center. He struck out and walked. See how the infield plays it. Much like the Padres in the same situation earlier in the game. The middle infielders will play back, try to get a double play up the middle, and the corners play more shallow, not as drastic as the Padres have had both Myers and Rosales in on the grass. (3-2) Cincinnati. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Padres. Threw that one right by Blash at 94. Did he go? Yes. All inside, couldn't check his swing.
Well, now you got to really be short and quick to the baseball and protect. Lorenzen's got the good fastball. We've seen it at 97. He's got that tight slider down and away.
Yeah. Got to call that a strike. In fact, the home plate umpire, D. Jesus, called it. Way outside the breaking ball. Well, that makes it interesting with the bases loaded 2-2. I figure he's got to throw him a pretty good strike here. Padre over every pillow. Amarista, Myers, and Schimpf aboard. And 2-2 coming up. Inside. Now it is interesting. Got to throw a strike or the game is tied. Bethencourt next. Crowd trying to help out the Padres. Fouled away.
Well, still not afraid to pound that ball in. Lorenzen, even with the full count. If taken, that was probably ball 4. Been kind of a strange strike zone today. Last pitch was up and in.
Padre faithful in the crowd of 27,436 rooting for Blash. Get a hold of one, even a ball 4, they'll cheer. The base is full. Got him swinging. 96 on the fastball. So Lorenzen's 2 strikeouts of the 2 outs of the inning.
Well, as a hitter, the mindset is you're going out there saying to yourself, okay, all the pressure is on Lorenzen. 1-1. Heavy dose of fastballs, and he'll mix in a slider every once in a while. Even a fly ball right here. Jabari Blash took some big hacks. And eventually, when all is said and done, he finishes them off with the 2-seamer right at the knees.
So with 2 outs, bases loaded, it's Christian Bethencourt, who has struck out twice and flied out. back. It's been a rough series for Bethancourt. He's 0 for 7. Hit into 2 double plays and struck out 4 times. But one mighty swing here, and Padres will be pleased with his 3 games against the Reds. Bases loaded, and he hits one deep to left field. How deep is it? Not deep enough for the rolling path, and caught by Peraza for the final out. Didn't quite get the sweet spot, and the Padres leave the bases full. That's the difference, leading 3-2. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, I was hoping for the homer off Homer Bailey. Homer off Bailey. No home runs allowed. 5 2/3 innings pitch. He did give up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. We stand now at 3-2. The Padres trailing by a run. And opportunity knocks for Clemens. Well, kind of a tough day for Paul. He did go 4 in the third, give up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, but left the game with a strained lower back. He punched out 5 and only walked 1.
So to the top of the 9th, and the 7th Padre pitcher used is Leonel Campos, just called up from El Paso. And he will face Barnhart, the pitcher's spot, and leadoff hitter Billy Hamilton.
Recall, as Dick mentioned, for the 4th stint with the Padres this season. It seems like every year there's that one guy in the bullpen. 3 or 4, maybe 5 times back and forth between AAA and the big leagues.
Ivan De Jesus is in the on deck circle. Pitcher spot. Barnhart, his single back in the 5th inning, knocked in the 3rd run of the game. That's the difference. His only hit of the series. 1 for 9. Fifth appearance for Campos. He was up with a big club earlier in the year. 5 2/3, giving up 5 earned runs. Control has been a problem. 6 walks in his 5 2/3 innings. Two and 1 to the Reds catcher.
Yeah, even though the Padres don't have the lead, they only trail by 1. This is crunch time for a reliever. It's time for a hold. Hold them to the 1-run lead.
Way upstairs, 3 and 1. Campos is 29. Celebrated his birthday a couple of weeks ago. 29, from Venezuela. It's deep, but way foul down the right field side. Well back into the 2nd tier. Campos, an international signee by the Padres 6 years ago. So he's been in the system since 2010. Fly ball to center. Jankowski cruises back and makes the catch. Here's DeJesus. As we look ahead to the Milwaukee series and tomorrow night, 6:30 for our pregame show here on Fox Sports San Diego. Jared Cosart makes his first start as a Padre. Came over from Miami in that big trade earlier this week against Jimmy Nelson. Nelson has pitched better than his record of 6-9. We saw him earlier this year. Good looking right-hander. DeJesus. Ball one. Milwaukee with a win today. 15.5 games behind the Cubs in the Central. High again, 2-0. Looking ahead to the Padres half of the ninth inning. Lower third of the order. Rondon, Rosales in the pitcher's spot. Due up. You know, you take a Matt Kemp out of the lineup with his home runs and RBIs. Alex Dickerson, who is as hot as any hitter with his injury, and it really straps Andy Green in terms of a very thin bench. That's why I had to use Edwin Jackson as a pinch hitter earlier in the game. Just not a lot of clout left in the 9 men in the lineup at the moment. 3-1. But sometimes surprises come from unknown sources. Rosales last night, a late entry into the lineup, came through in the 10th with a home run to win it.
There's Alex Dickerson.
Took that terrible tumble Friday night. Ground ball right side at Schimpf for the second out. And our rooftop shot. Yeah, that's brought to you by Pinnacle on the Park. Look down into beautiful Petco Park. With 2 away here in the 9th inning.
What does everybody always say? It's a Chamber of Commerce type of day here in San Diego. It's like that every day.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Some people even describe our weather as boring. It's so nice.
I'll take boring.
Don't have to shovel boring.
That's right. You can't shovel sunshine. That's what I always tell everybody back home.
Hamilton takes a strike. He has struck out and flied 3 consecutive times to Jabari Blash in right field.
Well, speaking of pinch hitters in the 9th, you know, Alex Dickerson took some swings before or during BP, so it's kind of a wait and see. If he appears in the 9th, that means he's okay to go. If in fact they'll use him in a pinch hitting role.
Late strike call at the knees, 0-2. Fox tracks confirming that's a strike. Got to hurry. Hamilton run, and it's a base hit. That's going to be a double. He keeps right on going. So that's about a 120-foot double. Ground ball that Rondon tried to make the bare hand and throw. Even had he made it cleanly, it's doubtful that they're going to throw out Hamilton, who winds up with a ground ball double.
Cued. Now, is this a ball for yeah, Rosales? You know, like you said, Dick, even if they even if he comes up with that, there's no way they're going to get Hamilton.
So every spot in the batting order with a base hit now. 9 hits scattered One each in the lineup, including Homer Bailey got one, an infield hit. Big insurance run there for the Reds as Cozart comes up. He's 1 for 4. Strike at 92. Change up 1-1.
With a shift way over to the left side, wouldn't be a bad idea to possibly, you spin and throw towards second base. You don't have to throw. Maybe a pickoff at second. Shift now backing up. Now he's got a Deacon back and forth.
Well, with 2 outs, there's not a lot of reward in stealing third. High risk, but Hamilton's speed makes him a positive candidate to steal any base anytime. There he goes. And the ball is hit deep to right center field. Jankowski speeding into the gap and makes the catch. Boy, that kid can cover a lot of territory. Jankowski takes extra bases and a big run away from the Reds. He just outran that drive to deep right center. Yes, sir. Applause to the center fielder. His first major league home run, and it was a beauty. 424 feet long for Jose Peraza in the second inning to account for 2 of the 3 Reds runs today as they lead 3-2. So young Peraza is our Carl's Jr. star today. Left-hander Tony Cingrani taking over the closer role with Aroldis Chapman traded on to the Cubs. There are his numbers. Not exactly perfect in the saves department.
No, 5 blown, a high ERA over 3, but we know as relievers you have a bad inning that could skyrocket. 32, but look at the walks. You can get a little wild as well. So the Padres hitters have to be patient here. A walk maybe or 2, and then come up with a big hit.
Rondon will start it here in the 9th. He is grounded out twice and popped to short. Takes high, ball 1. 94 on the first fastball from the left-hander. Rondon going for the downs.
Well, Cingrani is basically a two-pitch pitcher, fastball slider.
Played his high school ball in New Lenox, Illinois. And
that's just east of Joliet.
Yeah, then he went on to Rice University. He must be a heady sort. That
yeah.
Get into Rice. That's
those Owls are pretty smart.
They're very smart. It's a highly regarded academic institution here in Houston. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rondon. Padres trying to rally here in the bottom of the 9th. 3-2.
This could get interesting with the wildness, possible wildness of Cingrani.
Turned 27 earlier this month, Cingrani. Foul back. Smelling the wood. That was an old Ted Williams line. Foul ball, can you smell the wood burn? Apparently the thumper could. Get a fastball and you cut it on the foul tip.
Sure. Create some friction. You can smell that wood burning.
Got it. What away. Rondon down swinging. That's 11 strikeouts now for Reds pitching today.
He's just going to challenge him, and that's exactly what that is. Outer third with the fastball above the belt.
Rosales homered to win it in the 10th last night. A couple of groundouts to third and a strikeout today. Strike at 95. Derek Norris is in the on-deck circle. 2 strikes to Rosales. Just outside, 1-2. Cingrani seeking his 13th save of the season. Late swing foul. That's where you want to have your glove. If no matter what the inning is, be on the ready. Don't get careless late in the game. Those come screaming in at you. All is well. And another strikeout. 2 in a row for Cingrani.
He's just rearing back and going with the old number 1.
Dozen strikeouts from the Reds pitching.
Seems like when it comes down to crunch time, it's the old number 1 coming at you.
Derek Norris introduced with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. A rough year all around for Norris. Not only the nicks and bruises and foul tips, but hitting the ball hard and not getting a base hit for the effort. Line drives to gloves. That was true game 1 of the series. A very big moment, trailing 4-0 in the first inning on Friday night. He came up with the bases loaded and blistered one toward left field, and it went right to Suarez's glove for the out. That was a generous strike there from De Jesus.
It's been a weird strike zone both ways today for both teams.
Ramirez would be next, apparently, with left-handed hitting Jankowski do. And 1-2 now. Reds 1 pitch away from 5 straight series wins. Not bad for the last place Cincinnatians. shallow left center. Hamilton coming in and calling. And the Reds have taken 2 out of 3. That's 5 straight times, 5 straight series. They've won all 2 games to 1. The final score, Cincinnati 3, San Diego 2. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Dick, thanks very much. Yeah, the Reds are playing well. They're 10-5 out of the